TGC Requiem, we're back with Legacy Combo Elves versus Grixis Delver. I will be on the play. This looks pretty good. I'm gonna hold on to Green Sun Zenith for a couple here. So we're gonna get Force of Willed on the Quirion Ranger. I think I'm okay with that. So again, my opponent here is not a master of, must have a counter magic heavy hand or interaction light hand. So he's not an expert of Grixis Delver, but he's played it a little bit, so kind of the assumption here is we're not going to get perfect Delver play on the other side. So definitely a creature hand, it looks like. I'll probably refrain from using the Lavamancer till my turn. He is a seasoned burn player. Unfortunately, this is going to lead to both Deathrights getting killed. But then the flip side here is we're kind of hoping we can get a, with the use of Quirion Ranger, maybe get a Crater Hoof out there. So, no flip, creature or land. So just taking a peek here to see what he does with Ponder. Looks like he's taking time determining the order, so he's probably going to draw. Did not shuffle. Got his land. What can we even go get here? I guess we can get... We could use Green Sun Zenith to get a symbiote. There's really no point in getting a Deathray Shaman. Symbiote, of course, just lets us bounce our Visionary, draw a card. So the tough thing here is we would gladly trade with them, but at the same token, I'd expect a double flip here with that, yeah. We're really going to need to get like a Cradle with creatures on board. He's going to kill one with the Lavamancer this turn. So I could see him going over after the Cavern, right? So I guess the plus side is even if he stifles it, I still get to bounce my creature. There's nothing he can do about that. Okay. unfortunately, so I have to determine if we want to do Query and Ranger. If we can get the 3, which would play the Reclamation Sage. Now the hope is this just gives us enough creatures to natural order for the victory next turn. Pretty confident the Heritage Druid dies, but we hide the fact that we have the Bayou for the 4th land. Maybe he tries to kill the Query and Ranger instead. Although I can't imagine that, considering the Heritage Druid gives us the extra mana. Could see him killing the Heritage Druid during our upkeep. Again, doesn't really make a difference to us. Now that he's tapped out, we know we can go for it, and actually, I'm pretty sure that'll be lethal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we will have 9. No, I guess if he kills a creature, we're going to have 9, 4, 4, 17. Oh, I think we're going to lose by 1 point. No, because he can't block with the 2 guys. Yeah, but we don't have enough damage. Sorry. Blah, blah, blah. So let's see what he targets. I'm assuming the Heritage Druid. He does go for the Query and Ranger, which is fine. That actually gives us an extra point of damage. Alright, so if we sacrifice the Visionary, it's actually 3, so it's going to be 8, 5, which is 13, and 4, which is 17, of which he can block 2, and you don't need to block any of it. If we Green Sun Zenith, I think our only out here is to Green Sun Zenith for an Elvish Visionary to hit a guy's Cradle. Maybe. If we spend... If we Green Sun Zenith for a Dryad Arbor, that's not good enough. We don't have the mana to do enough damage without... Am I right? We Green Sun Zenith, that costs 1. We have 3 mana up. We have to Heritage Druid. We can then cast Natural Order, but we're only attacking with 1 creature who is a 9 power. If we get Birchlore Rangers, we spend 2 mana, which gets us up to 4 creatures. We can tap the Heritage Druid and the Birchlore Ranger for 1. Actually, that might be enough. So if we play a land, spend... No, because we're only getting 1 mana, right? So we'd have to tap 3, which means we're not attacking with enough. Heritage Druid doesn't do anything. If we do Nettle Sentinel, unfortunately Nettle Sentinel on its own doesn't do anything. Query and Ranger would allow us to bounce a land back, but that doesn't help. So yeah, I think we are in Green Sun Zenith for Visionary, hope to hit a Cradle. And if we do, that actually is game. And since we said it out loud, we figured it out, it is my belief that this will happen. Unfortunately, Glimpse, so we could chain 3 mana, cast a Glimpse, but we don't have yeah, and just double checking. We don't have any bouncing abilities, so that'll be game. So I definitely think we're bringing the same stuff in here. Reclamation Sage. I think I'm going to leave 1 natural order in. Just because these. And actually, you know what? We can take Llanowar Elves out and bring one of these druids back in. Alright. Game 4 of match 2. Be on the play. I think we're going to keep here. Really would like to draw land. We can do the old forest into Dryad Arbor. So, presuming this means he has something to kill the Arbor with. But I'm sure he has something to kill everything I have with. But if not, that allows us to try and run out probably Sentinel Deathrite. Comes the bolt. Okay, so now we're gonna definitely run out Deathrite, which means he is going to die. Or get Force of Willed, yep. Really could go for a land right here. Whoops. I actually meant to bounce that forest there and replay it, but got distracted talking to my buddy. Gonna get punished for this. Brainstorm. Ooh, Jite. So we're hoping he does not have a Force of Will or Daze here. So here's the thing. If we play the forest in advance, we are stuck on land. He can force us to daze, but then we still get another creature down, I suppose. So yeah, so I think that's the route we go. It's not the best. Force of Will. So we have the potential to have a solid turn the next turn if he doesn't have a removal spell. We get the Druid down the same method we just did. That'll allow us to cast Visionary into a daze. Of course, Brainstorm could potentially put him into double force of, or put him into another Force of Will. So it's very possible he dazes this, supposing he has a daze, which I'm assuming he does. It's possible this is a stifle. We already played a land for turn. Four, we could go get a... So sorry, I'm thinking this through. I already used my Quirion Ranger, so I cannot activate for the more mana. If we go for Green Sun Zenith now, yeah, I think we just have to attack here. What I was hoping to do was recast and go get a Run's Run Packmaster. Could go get a Wirewood Symbiote, which would have allowed us to bounce and recast Visionary. No, we'd just been able to bounce. I don't know, that would have allowed us to untap a creature. We could have kept the chain going. Might have been worth the consideration. The fact that he cannot put a creature down that attacks us this turn, though. Fire Covenant, X5. That's just brutal. So basically he's going to pay this mana cost, lose 5 life, and wipe our board. So I guess it doesn't really matter. He would have done that in response to us going for it the other way as well. So the plan here is going to be Dryad Arbor, I think. No, he has a Wasteland. We need to do this anyway. So we're going to lose our Bayou, but good to get the GTA off the board. Also got a Wasteland off the board. Could tap for 1, so we're just going to wait till the next turn. Maybe go get a Visionary next turn. This is a grindy game. Alright, so could get a Daze blowout right here. Symbiote. Let's start this train. Uh-oh, I smell a Cabal therapy coming. Starts the drain. So definitely need to bounce Visionary on end step. With the Cabal therapy, we certainly don't want to be doing it any earlier than that. I'm trying to think here. If we actually cast this for 1, Okay. So next turn we're actually in position to go get Ren's Run Packmaster through a Daze. He is getting into a position where he could hard cast a Force of Will. Fortunately, we don't have anything that's allowing us to generate an advanced amount of mana. So we're not going to bounce the Visionary this turn. We're going to try and set up a large amount of mana. Fortunately, it's going to put us in a position where we're probably going to go to time in game 3. Oh, Josh, you dummy. Oh, you were supposed to start with Glimpse. Whoops. Oh, and do I not have any Triad Harbors left? This is just the worst play ever. Talk about a terrible, terrible line. That's brutal. So if we get Craterhoof That's 6. Sorry, it's 8, 4, and 4. 16, he can only block 4. But he can gain 2, but that puts him too far behind. Now if he stifles this ability, that would be... Alright, so he just let us get there. Alright, on to game 3. We got a game win, hooray! So I think we're actually going to have to really push for natural order, otherwise we're just not going to finish this game off. So we'll take a few of these out. And one more Heritage Druid, get one of those back in there. I think we bring in the Thought Seizes. Runs Run, Packmaster, Green Sun Zenith. Already pulled Llanowar, Elves, right? So on the draw, going for natural order is really bad, but we don't really have a choice here due to time constraints. This is the most likely way we win a fast game. Well, at least we got some terrible hands. I mean, what are you supposed to do with this? Yeah, sure. I mean, those are all terrible hands. Absolutely terrible. Probably should have brought the Llanowar Elves back in. I smell a turn 2 Wasteland. That is not good. Oh, thank God. So we're jamming into a Visionary, which is A, going to get countered, B, the Wasteland is going to blow up our Bayou. He's just saying, I dare you. I dare you. See what he does with the ponder. Chooses not to shuffle. Them scrawny boots. So the goal here is to ideally have him go after our wasteland, and then we just bounce the bayou. Unlikely, but we could go for natural order and get our worm next turn, assuming he doesn't have counter magic, which is a big assume. Right, we have access to 3, bounce a forest, replay a forest, natural order, sacrifice the Query Ranger, go get our Elder Scale Worm. I mean, that presents a clock. I mean, I just can't imagine I'm going to get through Forcer days. Well, I think the odds are we have to go for it here. Well, I think it was still the right call. We had to make a decision here. If we get to time here and it looks like I'm done, so I will actually concede before we win if he were to go to time. Not that I imagine he's not going to beat me before we go to time. Got the whole suite out there. It's a party. So now we're potentially in the natural order range again, right? No, we need an elf. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cabal therapy. Yeah, use that Cabal therapy on me. Use it. So that makes sense. He's against the clock too. Suppose that was kind of bad now that I think about it. Grim Lavamancer could just kill my creatures. Rewarded for his patience. So, yeah, the Lavamancer's really got us tied against the vice. He's got to go for the symbiote here, right? Oh, he's just going at me. Alright. We could natural order if we draw it. We still could win this game. Five. So real quick, if we eat something, he tries to eat it in response, we can untap Shaman and eat it again. But then we're at 7, 5. We're still dead either way. We're still dead either way. This is one worthy of the screenshots. Both of us down to under 10 seconds. You see that clock movement? See that clock movement jump up? So we're 1 and 2 there, which puts us to 1 and 4 overall. And 0 and 2 in matches. And we'll hopefully be back with a third match.